Hello, welcome to day 36. So, we are sort of all caught up now, mostly. So, I started roughing out some new pages. So, these are pages 35 to 40. So, I've took Bones McKay's advice of batching some pages. So I'm doing it in a batch of 5. So these are really rough and ready at the moment, but it's really just to see how they look together. And unfortunately, because I use layer paint, and layer paint really only looks at one image at a time, you can't look at the pages like you can with Clip Paint Studio. Or anyway, I've done 5 pages. And what you see are somehow broken through the door and what theoretical geometries called the fourth wall. What? Okay, I'll try to explain it as best I can. I'm going to flip that panel around because it makes no sense like that. Okay, this one, you're looking around the apartment, so you're saying, okay, how many walls can you see now? And say 3, and then look again, how many walls can you see? 3, how many walls can you see? What about if there was a fourth wall that you couldn't see? And you talk about how if you could break through fourth wall, reality would start to look very strange indeed. And of course, Scarf is like, well, hang on a second, you've had this one all over the place. For all you know, you could have been concussed. It's no head injury. Besides, what about all those guys with guns? That's a good point. Look, I'm no scientist, but my theory is behind this fourth wall there's an intelligence controlling our reality. I call it the construct. I guess the Matrix was taken, right? Silence, imbecile. The construct. And then we start talking again about, have you ever noticed you do things that you wouldn't normally do? And he said, well, yeah, I seem to remember calling some people readers back in the day, and I didn't know how long Dogen had been in the coma, and suddenly I knew. That's when the construct's been controlling us, filling in the life for us, filling in reality for us. So yeah. So, and we'll get some more exposition. And so yeah, I've started these pages, and I will be working on them. So yeah, this is Scaraf. Scaraf is Carlos. We've seen Carlos a few times, but this is what he actually looks like. So, Scaraf is an alien, and he wears a disguise, and he has an alias, and his alias is Count Carlos Scarleone. So that's him. He's kind of the running gag in Behind the Sofa is that he always wants to be, and he always wants another shot at being on Doctor Who. He always wants to be cast again. So he gets really annoyed when all his friends are getting redesigned for the series and he isn't, because he never will be, because he's only ever in one episode. He's a one-off character. So that's it. I'm going to be doing some scripting the next couple of days on chapter 3, because we are like 5 pages from the end of chapter 2 at the moment. So I think there's another 2 pages after this. Another 2, maybe 3 pages, and that's the end of the chapter. 43 pages or something ridiculous. And then we've got the next chapter. So I have to start scripting, and the script's written. I need to start sort of roughing out ideas for that. And we might talk about that tomorrow. Alright, I think that's enough for today. Alright, bye now. Okay, normal service is resumed. It's day 38, and currently I am sort of tightening up the pencils on this page. This is page 35. This is the start of the flashback. Started to rough out what I want in terms of, you know, city, a rooftop chase with some criminal types sort of doing parkour and crazy flips and stuff. The panels, I put some notes in for myself as well, and the gutters are grey because I'm testing something. I'm checking something in terms of this panel. This panel has got like breaks in the border. I need to. He's breaking through some stuff, so I need to show that. But I also want to preserve some of the border and have a bleed here. This is a weird. It's a weird page. It's a page that's got both gutters and borders, and a bleed at the bottom right. And this is a page 35. So if this was a print book, it would be on the right hand side. So you'd be turning sort of that way, you know, like that. So the spine is here. So that should be quite an interesting sort of look, you know. So this will be fading in. The bleed would be fading in that way, and fading in presumably that way as well, fading in that way as well. But this is going to be white. That's going to be dark. He's going to be normal coloured. Door's going to be whatever colour the door's going to be, fading up and out. So yeah, so I've just it's early days, sort of tightening up the pencils, but you know, it already feels a lot more dynamic. You know, initially it was just these fairly simplistic tones. Now there's more going on. I need to put some. It looks a bit fat there. Actually, I need to put more lines across and really emphasise the twisting nature. And this panel, I've already sort of started to rough out some of the curtains, you know, and this stuff. He's standing there about to explain, do some exposition, and these guys are watching him. Actually, I realise that Scarif is missing from that shot, so he needs to be in that shot. Yeah, so that's it today. That's enough for the going on with though, and yeah. Like now it's turning up. This rooftop chase I think is looking quite interesting, and I think it's going to be quite exciting. And then we've got this hard impact panel here, and then this like Imaged face here. And I think once I've done this is like our tighter pencils. I'll go to ink on this page, and it's the same process for all the pages. Alright, that'll do for now. Alright, bye. Progress continues, refining and tightening the pencils, and here I thought I'd show you a peek behind the curtain. Yes, I used a 3D model for the house. Okay. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Okay. So I modelled a very rough living room, put some figures in to act as sort of just rough placeholders, and I've sort of framed them up to look a bit like the shot that I want. You see, it's not 100% perfect, and these guys are definitely not in scale. But I've also done little things like this is a bit of a gag. Santaran is short. He's a lot shorter than the other characters, so we've put the hook down low. Actually, that probably needs to go up a little bit, but not much. Santaran is short. So that's one page. I'm starting to tighten the pencils up on that. This was what it was like originally. If I just minimise that, bring that back up. That's what we had. And so we'll just tighten that up. I've also been tightening up this page. I need to change the position of this text box. I might move it down there somewhere, or there, because there's someone actually running there. You can see them. If I hide text. There's someone running. So, but I quite like how that page is coming together quite nicely. We'll sort that out, and then that's ready for inks. So there's 2 pages. This page is pretty much ready for inks. This is page. So that's page 35. This is currently page 36. I'm loading up, and this is pretty much ready for me to just put some inks in there. I need to check his eyes. It looks like he's had a stroke. He's a bit. Man, he just moved that pupil over. Yeah, it looks a bit dopey. But this is pretty much ready for inks. So that's 35, 36 roughly ready. 37 was the page I showed you when we started, and that just leaves page 38 and 39. I've done some work on 38. It's not a lot. It needs a lot more tightening up, as you can see. And then we've got page 39, which I only just started on. Second pencils. As you can see, some shots I don't actually have a 3D model for yet, but I will do. And some of these will be against backgrounds that we ain't going to worry too much about. There'll be some shadows there, and that'll be about it for that panel, for example. Because there's a lot of dialogue here, this is quite a dialogue heavy scene. This is a dialogue heavy scene. We're gonna have to minimise the background on certain panels, like these 2, and possibly these 2. We'll see how we go with that. Anyway, that's what I've been doing today. We'll do a bare minimum again this weekend. I've got this sneaking suspicion we'll be out looking for furniture. So that'll be interesting. And that'll do for today. Alright, bye now. So welcome to day 42. This is a very quick video. So I've just started inking up page 35. Got a couple of panels done. It's going quite well. This Parisian rooftop chase scene's shaping up. Although I think we're going to probably end up changing this. This panel's a bit shaky. Cutaway's working well, and so the other 2 panels are working okay as well. So I just started to put him in. So that's all for today. That's another week. That's the end of week 6. And yeah, there we go. Alright, bye now.